Hey everyone, and welcome to AWBoy'Z episode 3. Now, Chris and I recorded this a few days ago, and I had to spend quite a bit of time editing it because of some audio issues that happened on both of our sides. And luckily, I make a backup recording, and so I had to kind of source this from two different sources. So you're going to notice some like audio quality changes and stuff, but overall, hope it's an informative episode and hope that the audio issues don't take away from it. So, let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of AWBoy'Z, hosted by the Sad Jabroni and my co-host Chris 2K Lee. This is our first episode back after a brief break. So a lot has happened since then. The last episode was our 2-hour-long discussion about Mari and her career, and definitely suggest you to go back and listen to that. So a lot's happened since then, from shows to some big news, and now we're on the road to Korakuen, and that's what the focus of this episode is going to be. It's going to get you prepared for Korakuen and the show that's coming up on the 24th. So, hey, Chris, thanks for coming along.
Yeah, thanks for having me, as usual, Rich. Good to be here.
Yeah, no problem. So a year ago, I was in Japan with you.
That's
and we
right.
went to a bunch of shows together, and it was really awesome. And just want to take an aside because I don't want to gloss over the loss of Asahi, because she's one of my favorite wrestlers. And one of the things that made that trip so special was seeing so many of my favorite wrestlers. And seeing Asahi twice was a real great thing about that trip. I got to see her twice for Ice Ribbon, and the first time I saw her was at Princess Party, where she was performing with Rentetsu, who are a train-based idol group. They kind of do they're like a fictional train line, and they're each different lines, and it's fun. And then Asahi was there, and she was a full member of that for the night. She had like the she had a train line graphic and everything, and she really embraced it, and she looked like she was having a bunch of fun up there doing that kind of stuff. And it was just a really fun night of wrestling. And after the show, I said hello to Asahi, and just got a portrait from her, and just very briefly chatted. And she spoke to me in Japanese, and then and my Japanese isn't very good, so I was thinking about it for a second. She said, "I'm sorry, I don't know any English," and I was like, "Oh, it's fine. I'm here as a guest, and I'm just trying to struggle through." And then Yappy came over and helped out for a second, so it was a fun little moment. And then a couple days later, it came out that she was no longer going to be with Ice Ribbon, and she was going to join Actwres as a transfer, on loan. A few days after that, Chris and I went to Korakuen for the Ice Ribbon Korakuen show, and I really wanted to let Asahi know that I was cheering for her and everything. So, it was also my last day in Japan, so I was really bummed, and then to have that kind of cloud hanging over the Ice Ribbon show because of the uncertainty of the promotion and the uncertainty of everything, and just wanted to have a positive moment. So I just went up to Asahi and got a couple of portraits from her, and just wished her luck and said, good luck in Actwres, girls. And she said thank you, and then she asked when I was leaving. I said I'm leaving tonight. So I've been here for a couple of weeks, and sad going back home. And she, we briefly talked. Like I said, she did not know much English, and she just said see you, in Japanese, matane. And it, knowing that I was leaving, and I felt okay, well, I'll be back, and it made me feel way less bummed about what was going on, and that I would be back. I'd be back in Japan, and I'd see Asahi wrestle again in person, and that was the last time I ever saw her, and would have never thought it, because in that moment her words were so reassuring, and I hear stories from other people, from Yappy and from others who say similar things that Asahi always, even if she didn't intend on it, she always knew what to say, and yeah, it had that experience firsthand, and it just we really did lose an incredible person on February 1st. So I just want to take a moment to tell my Asahi story. And I've told that story a bunch of times, but it just speaks to the good heart of Asahi and that she actually cared about her fans. And more than just a pro wrestler, but just a wonderful person.
Yes. I'll say this again. I'm actually struggling a bit to think of a specific like story, like oh, this is my Asahi story. Just because I've seen her around so much, like I think I literally I saw her whole career from when she was even just a trainee. Um, but the one thing I'll say is like again, I guess outside the ring is that she was always working hard. Like she loved the process of putting on a show. Um, I think you could always tell her heart was always in everything she was trying to do when she was at the venue, dealing with the fans, getting ready for her matches, seconding other people. Like she was always all in, and I think that's just a sign of what a professional she was at such a young age, just like a pro.
Yeah,
I remember watching her go
and
from trainee to what I felt was like a team leader pretty quick, and
yep, and she was absolutely a team leader when she was in Actwres.
yeah, and
And yeah, I I,
yeah,
I was reading the graffiti magazines, and there was a couple of cool features on her and interviews with her. Both like one just a general interview, and then one was more focusing on her wrestling fandom. And you could see how important professional wrestling was to her. And if you couldn't tell it from watching her in the ring, this article talked about like how she grew up watching it, her favorites, and just really something really cool and definitely something worth checking out. And there's also going to be a special edition of the graffiti coming
that is
out for
correct.
Korakuen
Yes,
that has her on the cover, and it's going to feature her and definitely something cool. And you can get those through Amazon Japan. They'll ship it right to you wherever you are in the world. And Ladies Ring also has a website that will ship internationally.
yep.
So you have a couple of options, and should be really interesting, cool, and great tribute to a wrestler who we really lost way too soon.
Yes. I mean, and on top of all that, just a reminder, as much as we lost one of the, one of the brightest young talents as fans, Asahi left a lot of friends and family behind. So, as a fan, out of respect, make sure when you're online, do not bug people to try to get information.
Yep.
Um, I know there was some erroneous tweets that went out when she passed.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, you know, as it stands, you know, her passing is a private matter, and out of respect to her and her family and her friends, and us as fans should leave that be for now. Okay, so I just want to throw that
Yeah.
out there. Uh, there is no information really about that, and I think we should leave it that way as fans.
Yep.
And remember her
Indeed. We
in-ring
were.
work, which was stellar. The one thing I'll say is again, I think a lot of people forget she came up with the likes of Suzu and Kaho kind of was just right behind her, and I saw those three as like the next wave, and and to be honest, I put
Yep.
her at the same level as obviously Suzu ended up getting the big spotlight, which great for her, she totally deserves it. But I always felt Asahi was
Yep.
just there with her. Uh,
Yeah. Especially when you consider the break Asahi took,
yes,
and you realize, okay, she was a little bit behind when it comes to just time in the ring because of the break,
yes,
but she was a potential ace, you know, the moment she came back into the ring from that break,
absolutely.
and she was showcased as that. And things happened between her and Ice Ribbon, and it made her just go over to Actress, and it she really like kind of saw a different side of her in the ring, and it
Yes,
was like just really really fun to have that. She was just such a really fun wrestler, and yeah, there's really not there's no way that we could really sum up how much she means to wrestling and how big of a loss this
No,
is.
I think one day
But
I will sit down and talk about it more when I can focus my thoughts about it. But
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
was a great
I
loss
didn't
for
want
the
to spend
community.
too much. I didn't want to spend too much time on this because I want people to get ready for the Korakuen, and I feel like a lot of other people have already said it, and I've spilled my thoughts out on the Actwres English unofficial website. So really, there's not much else we can say unless we want to, you know, just take up a whole. We could fill
Yeah,
up multiple episodes just about Asahi. So we'll probably do something more later on, and look forward to hearing what you would do. So so lots happened since we last talked, and one thing I wanted to go through was the unit shows, which we didn't have a chance to go through. We're not going to do it as thoroughly. We will probably do it later, but we
yeah.
want to get you caught up so you could get ready for Korakuen. And so a lot of stuff happened on the unit shows, and that's going to set up what happened in February and March, and got us get us ready to go for Korakuen. So hey, you were at the Royal unit show, right?
Yes, I was. That was a great
Cool.
show. Um, uh, Again, all the matches really fun. The royal recruitment match probably made my favorite of that whole night.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Um,
Yep.
Great atmosphere,
Yeah, it
and
was cool. King Mari, just a really fun show, and it really set the pace for the next few shows, which all like one upped each other. I felt as it went on.
absolutely.
It was a really
I think the beauty was it was very clear that each unit had sat down and said, "Let's do something unique and special that represents our
yeah,
unit."
yep, yeah, and the Teppen show, which came next, was uh was incredible too,
Yeah, just
and
the way they started it, brilliant.
them fighting, and then Love Riddle
Yep, yeah,
after the match, and they all just scramble to get like scramble after the match and do the dance. That was really fun one. Well, a lot happened on that one. I don't want to go too quickly. I want to go crazy over that because one of the biggest moments I think of Actwres and of the year happened on that show.
Oh, what was it? It's been a while since I went back and watched those shows.
Yeah,
It
so
was a blur.
that show had the Calico Trials.
Yes, that's right. Oh my gosh, how
Yep,
could I forget?
and it it made January feel like the month of Calico.
Yeah,
Calico like Calico uh didn't really survive Natsuki and Kanamiku in the first two trials, and once Mari came out, the she came out and just like immediately kicked her head off, and it
yeah,
just
yeah,
kept like did not let off. And like this was Calico's third match, and Mari is the ace, the champ,
yeah.
and it just
And
did not let off the
she
gas
came in yeah,
for the
spicy
match.
from the jump. That
Yep,
was full on Mari.
threw her on the chairs in
Yep.
an incredible spot, and it awoke something in Calico. The moment is so visual, and it's gonna be burned forever in my head, where she just rips off her pants
Yep.
and just levels up and just completely just shows the wrestler that the potential wrestler that a lot of us saw in her with the lucha style, and she just amped that all up, and it was just so cool, and a star was made that
Yes.
night.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
think she really established herself that like that again all the potential we've seen in her up to this point is totally valid, and that she's ready to get to that next level uh, and compete with the big dogs, the other big cats. I think in a lot of ways it was her proving something to herself. I think there's been at least story wise, there's been some confidence issues with Calico, and then now she's kind of like, no, I got this.
yeah.
I'm ready for this.
It definitely felt like maybe just because she's like maybe the bottom of Teppen, the fourth member of Teppen, and
Yeah, yeah,
a late add to it, and like trying to find your space in the whole scheme. And a lot of people are leveling up around her whether it's Sakura or Kanamiku or whoever, and finding that extra gear, that level that you didn't think that was there,
Yep.
that she probably didn't even know was there, and just was like, Mari got it out of her. And it was just really cool, just a really fun match, and that is a lot of people who watch Actresses like Actress Match of the Year already. I think it's something that's going to be hard to shake for a lot of people because it was such an incredible story was told in that ring, and just the way that it made a star. It was a big moment. It had a moment where like I feel like any wrestling fan would really appreciate.
Right. It transcended the language barrier of anything.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it was just really good. The whole show was really good, and yeah, just a really really cool like follow up to the Royal show. And like I said, Teppen has their own way of doing things, and a lot of that's the mind of Asahi and Misa doing some really creative stuff. And yeah, just and Naho is a very
Yeah, yeah.
like very energetic person. So very cool. Very cool. Very, very Teppany show. And then the next one was the Jidoshu, the second Jidoshu produced show,
Right. They
which
kind of
was
started this whole thing.
also
Yeah.
yeah. And this one was like I was like, there's nothing's gonna beat the Teppen show. And this one was such a fun ride from start
Oh
to
my God.
finish.
Yeah.
You had the snake juice match
Yep. Yep.
where yeah, the tricking him into drinking the snake juice, and you saw just a really fun chaotic match where music would play, and then
Yeah.
Sakura and Kanamiku would just become absolute monsters and goblins in the ring, and they would just embrace the heel and the mean. And then it wasn't working on Nagisa and Mari because they didn't they were smart, and they knew not to
Yeah.
drink the snake juice until they needed to drink outside the ring. And that music hit, and they shed their t-shirts
Yeah.
and what or their that wasn't t-shirts, it was like like sweaters, and then
Yeah.
they were wearing snake gear, and
Just
that was
that's how powerful
yeah
the snake juice was. It changed their
yeah
gear.
changed their gear, and they became meanies too, and it
Yep.
was just it was fun watching them kind of bounce back at taking turns being mean at each other, and just watching Sakura try to embrace her inner meanness was fun just by itself. So we know Mari can get mean, but
And then
seeing Sakura and
that
Kanamiku
followed
especially,
up by what might be my favorite match from that show or ever is just the Animal Friends insanity
yes,
match.
The Todoroki produced match, which was absolutely amazing.
Um,
And
Never has a pigeon head
yeah,
been so powerful.
yeah, and the way that ended was very sad, but it was very good.
Yes.
It was such a fun match, another like chaotic, fun little thing. And when people think of Jidoshu, it's one like they come out there, they got the chain and the kendo stick and chairs and the umbrella, and they're out there and they're being meanies, but they were a bunch of silly weirdos in like the best way possible. Watching this match be as silly as it was, and then even the snake juice match was silly. Like they're just like they present as heels, but they are absolute goofballs, and this show embraced that.
Yes. It made it very clear that as dangerous as a snake is, it's also here to entertain us. There's a message for us.
Yep.
There was some comparisons online, and I won't shake it to the what I would definitely call the prime days of Oedo Tai, when Oedo Tai was the big
Yeah,
baddies of Stardom. But at the same time, they were
they
this
were
very
goofballs.
kind of goofball group that was kind of
Yeah.
like whatever, we're
Especially when
evil,
it
but we're,
was Hana and Tam and
yep.
that crew. Yeah,
Yes, so that reminded me of those times. Maybe even
yeah,
more amped up though in some ways, because I feel like because of because of the creativeness brought in by their acting and other performance um,
yep,
skills, it was even more wild and off the charts.
yeah, absolutely. And like Maru is just a really like brilliant creative mind,
Yes.
and she does all these different kinds of stage productions that range from like these serious war stories to more comedic stuff, and everything in between. So it's fun to watch that, like the way that she can be such a dynamic performer, and in the main event where they had the was it Teppen against Jidoshu match, the hardcore match, and the rules were very unique for that one. So to celebrate the new year, 2024, the team that got the most wins, most pins or give ups in 2024 seconds wins the match.
And that was that was a very Jidosha call.
Yeah, it was a fun one, and it definitely was. It had the suspense of a an Iron Man type match. It was great.
Although, of course, at 2024 seconds, not quite an Iron Man match, but still, given the teams involved, more like a like.
It came out to what, about 33, 34 minutes.
I guess yeah, my math is bad. So
It was over like half of one, but not by much. So it was really fun, and there was like tension at the end, and Teppen got behind, and it was just were they going to overcome it. Really fun, really cool story, and yeah, just again the kind of dynamic of that show where you had like a lot of silliness and some seriousness, and even the silly rules and the of the main event, but there was still that intensity to it as it built. Really cool, and just another great show. And then there was the Beast show, which I feel like flew under the radar a bit. It was I feel like it didn't have the kind of silliness or the as much of a big entertainment factor to it, where you didn't have the the birds and stuff.
yes,
But you had some fun stuff. You had Marty dressed as Act for Love Riddle,
yes,
which was really fun, and that seemed to confuse some people. Like literally dancing into her, going, "What? Wait, 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 Marty." Yeah, so that was fun. Um, it had the Asahi and Yufa tag, which also was fun. Uh, you start to see well, there were cracks for a while between Nene and Chucky, and that was kind of a bit of a backstory as we ran through January.
yes, yeah. This
And
was
yep,
been a slow burn, I think. Uh,
yeah, and that's where this show I feel like sticks out to me. Where like the other matches, I feel like maybe you could have put him on a regular step show, but when you get to the main event where it was the beast match, and then pretty much Act Ayano just like, we're out of here. You guys settle it. Finally settle it. There was so much leading up to that, where with Chiaki even just joining Beast originally, there
yes,
was just a lot there. And we're gonna go probably way deeper into this when we're gonna probably do an episode just about these shows. So, but it's important here because this is kind of where Ayano became the leader last year, but Rico has kind of been the brains behind the operation since the beginning. But Chiaki here is really becoming the enforcer and someone who is the decision maker, whether the others want her to be or not. And it's been
right.
really fascinating to watch her get into that role. And this match where Nene like gets her respect and is like, okay, like you can stay. You were part of this, and we worked it out, and they walked out together. And you start to see that become a big part of Chucky in February and into March.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Chucky's, the naughty golden retriever.
Yeah, and now
She came into this faction off a betrayal.
yeah. Well, now she's the
If
wolf,
you betray
the
one,
dark wolf, the
now
lone
she's the
wolf.
wolf.
Yeah. So she's
Do we
living up to
do we
that
get a
nickname.
biker faction?
Who knows? I
Yeah,
don't know. It's
yeah,
Beast. We'll get into that as we get further down into March, as things develop with Beast Rebellion. So this is just
that's right.
yeah, and this is just it was a great show, I thought, and I thought the main event and how it turned into the singles match just added to the whole vibe of the shows, and it really
Yeah,
it was a complete 180 from the Todoroki produced match or the stuff that happened earlier on in the unit shows. This is like finally a real serious moment, and something that really impacted the future of the promotion, because
yeah,
Beasts, who were the first unit, are falling apart, and this is the first time
yes,
that you really get to, okay, like, are they gonna like stabilize here? So we'll get into that as we get further in.
yeah.
And
I
then
think it was a smart move, though. I mean, those produced shows were so wild and fun, but it was
mhm,
good to reground everything again with a show that's was more or less a straight up show,
Yeah.
um, with Beast touches.
Yep. And
But
it's
yeah,
and it again, it solidified another person as something because
yes,
and Nene was maybe a little bit lost in the shuffle. She's not as many shows as the rest of Beasts, and it established her. Finally, she is respected by her fellow faction members, and now we know that
that's right.
we visually saw it, and it was just a great story to watch play out over that match and that show, and over the series of shows, and then yeah, so another good show, and then the Asahi news came out, and they postponed Step 33, so the next show was
That's
Step
right.
34, and that was the first show back. It was a heavy one, but they went right back at it from the beginning, and yeah, it was a cool show. I thought. You had the was that was the one with the Marinaru match, I believe.
Yeah, I
Not
believe so.
Marinara. Sorry, I sometimes I get into my New York accent, but but
Marinara, yeah.
that show also had Miku and Kyoka in the haircut match. That was a fun one. It wasn't really back and forth, but it was. Kyoka's been kind of like in a bit of a weird state. Eyes fell apart, and her going back to Jidoshu, and for the unit shows she was with
Yeah,
Jidoshu, and just kind of figure out where she belongs and really kind of solidify her as something. And you had this thing, it's like, okay, like Miku is all about her image. She's like this actress, and her charm points on in like the graffiti magazine on the website are long hair. So to have
yes,
Kyoka come in and threaten that, and that was a fun match, a fun idea, and the idea of a hair versus hair match in Actress is like insane because these are actresses. And
exactly.
in the end, she just like she really thought Miku would look good with a haircut of like one of her favorite actresses.
That's what I loved. The little twist at the end, you're like,
Yeah,
oh, hair versus hair, shave her head,
yeah,
but it's like,
and all
no,
the
it was like,
drama because like how important it is, and like she won, like oh crap, and then you realize later on the show because after the main event they revealed Miku's new haircut and she looked great, and Kyoko was right, and Miku apologized for trying to cut off all of Kyoko's
yes,
hair.
all
So
of Kyoka's hair with
yes,
her decisions.
yes, her decision was just straight up like a buzz cut. So that was a
Yeah.
fun match, and
Uh,
also start to see kind of the story of February and March bubble up, where January was kind of where Calico became a force. Start to see Kanamiku become a force in that
yes.
main
Yeah.
event. Yeah, that was a good show, and then the next one was 33, which was the rescheduled from after the Beast show. So that's the next
Yes.
show, and that had some pretty interesting stuff too. You had we were talking about Chucky before, and this is where Rico was forced to tap out by Maru in their match,
Yes.
and Rico is coming back from her ACL injury, and she's come back and she's been pretty strong. She's been pretty impressive in the ring in her return, but those doubts about her return and about her health and her knee have definitely been a bit of her story. But here is where it really was like, okay, like this is going to be something that defines her going forward. Where now, she's the darkness brain. She's the brains behind the operation, but is she capable in the ring? Is she still able to throw those kicks? Is she still able to do what she can do? And Chiaki just no, just decides that if she tapped out there, she's not beast material.
Right.
And yeah, it really sets up March pretty well, and the kind of even more of the whole like the struggle for power at the top because Ayano's just there. I feel like she's just letting them do whatever they want, uh, and and then you have Rico and Chiaki now who are kind of fighting in that void for the real leader of Beasts. So really kind of a cool story that they're getting to here, and that's what we're getting out of step 33. And then
Yeah.
Kanemiku again starting that momentum rolls up Nene for a win on 33, and then we have the main event, which was the title match, Misa and Mari. which is fantastic.
Fantastic match.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic.
Old guard, we'll call him.
Yep,
This is
the old
weird for saying
card.
things.
Yep.
Beast is like 21, I think 22.
Yeah,
But I mean, she will be champion one day. It's one of those things that's just for sure.
yeah.
And but it was not the time for it now. And
And like
but
Misa's just been incredible and deserving of a title shot. And if she won it, it'd been amazing. But Mari is the veteran of the two, and it's
that's right.
yeah,
And it was a point match, and I did my duty and
yeah,
made sure that Mari got some points.
praising Mari
Praising Mari, giving money to
monetarily,
Mari,
yes. It,
monetarily. And it was I thought it was a really good showing for both of them.
mm-hmm.
I mean, under the circumstances too.
Yep.
Again, because this is basically a continuation of the tribute to Asahi.
Yeah, it really is
and
like
that played into the match as well.
yeah, really was like it weighed over the whole match, and it really when I watched it at the time, it was hard not to like choke up and tear up during certain moments.
Yeah.
And I think they really did pay tribute to Asahi in the match through the wrestling. It wasn't like the focus of the match. The focus was Misa and Mari, but Misa was paying tribute to her fallen stablemate.
Yes.
And it
right.
was so good. It was really well done, and absolutely a match that I think anyone should check out, especially if you're not familiar with Actwres.
Yeah, I believe it's free on the YouTube channel. Highly recommended.
Yep.
So
It's great. Send it to people.
There.
Send it to your friends. It's really, really good. Wrestling
Actress
theater.
Girls, YouTube has some excellent free matches up that are pretty recent. So if you want to see what's going down,
a lot of the big matches of the new system are all up on there. You can really get a good feel for the company just watching the free YouTube stuff.
Yes.
And then after that, the next time we saw some of the Actwres girls was at Actwres Time.
Actwres Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's Actwres Time. Just yell it in the street at random, and it'll happen.
They will just come out blasting Love Riddle.
I guess I'll take over a little bit here because I was actually there live. My third live Actwres Time. Unfortunately, I've not seen all Actwres Times live, but I don't have I? No, I've seen like 3 of the 4 or whatever. But I was there for the first one. I was there for the second one, and this third one was definitely their best outing yet. We've talked about it before. Actwres Time kind of came at a maybe not great time for All Japan.
Yeah.
Kind of in a cloud of a lot of backstage happenings. There's been stuff written about that, how accurate some of that stuff is. We won't go over that. But basically, a chaotic time backstage. Actress girls kind of got caught up in it in business deal. Maybe the way they were introduced during Christmas was questionable. I laughed, but whatever.
Yeah.
The match was Mari and Act versus Koki and Miku. That's right. Yeah. So this is basically they went top shelf for this one. Yeah. Even brought the title out because this is the first time Mari's shown up, and Mari went all out with a brand new look, or like 90% brand new. I believe the sash is from something she's done before, and some older bottom gear. But fantastic new look. I think she really wanted to make something that would meld with her tag team partner for the day, Act. And number one, I'll say that, again, probably the best reaction they've gotten so far. Some of that was definitely, I think, more fans, Actress fans coming out. But I think the crowd themselves, again, it's familiarity, right? A new wrestler comes out, you've never seen them before. You know how it is. It's like, yay. I like your hat or whatever, and then it takes a while,
Yeah,
especially
also,
when. Yeah.
And you also have the drama with the drama and also the change of the women's focus in AJPW from Evo to Actwres.
That's right.
I think that also rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way. I think that
I think that definitely was a huge part of it because Evo, I think a lot of people saw Evo as an extension of All Japan, especially Shuji Ishikawa, who is much loved.
Yeah.
And
as
unfortunately,
a fan,
because of that.
Yeah, even as a fan, for me, I'm torn between because I love Actress Girls and AJPW's been like kind of like a casual follow, but something I've been enjoying in 2023. And I see that drama, especially caused by not caused by Actress, but kind of amplified by their presence on the shows, was a bit of a
Yes.
bummer too, even if I was really excited about to see them. And one thing that I really enjoyed about the Actwres Time is that it almost feels like it happens in a different universe, and it's
Yes.
it's fun. Like you get to see Ayano singing Act Fantasy again and stuff. So it's been fun to see, and I really enjoyed the last one especially, and I saw a lot of people echo that sentiment online as well.
Yeah.
Both like overseas fans, English speaking fans, and also fans in Japan and AJPW fans, like asking who are these people and like how do I follow them? Like how do I like instead of like who are these people? I don't what are they doing? It's more who are these people and how do I get to know more about them? So the tone really
Yeah.
changed
And
with this one, and they really did kind of show out on this one especially.
I agree. And again, not quite on camera, but at the merchandise table, definitely seeing new faces walking up, wanting to buy stuff, asking questions to the talent, getting to know them. I still laugh because they're always like set up like next to Nakajima, who's technically an outsider in All Japan, despite being their champion. So like all the outsiders are kind of together at the outsiders table, and yeah, just Nakajima's just there, and then you see all these actress girls. It's pretty fun, pretty funny.
That's cool.
And he's
Yeah,
always scowling because that's just his character now. So,
yeah, yeah.
um,
That's good. That's a kind of a cool spot for them to be in too, because he's who he is. So it's
and yeah, yeah, some slightly more like live reporting stuff. What I also like is it's clear the actress girls are enjoying watching pro wrestling. You can see them, like almost all of them are just there, up in the rafters. I think you can kind of maybe even catch a little bit on camera, but they're up there watching the whole show. It's
yeah.
not like Actress Girls does their actress time and pieces out. They're there to study and learn. And I'll just say this: I wish I could be as happy as Chiaki is when she watches Rising Hayato win a title because she was amped to hell when that
That
happened.
makes so
And
much sense. That makes so much sense.
yeah, look at their two styles, and then you might realize, just like I mean, like their haircuts and a little bit of a how Chiaki's been adjusting your character. And I was like, oh wait a second, this makes more sense.
Yep.
um, but yeah, I mean, I would love to see them integrate a little bit more. I would love to see them actually get maybe one or two matches in, because again, it was cool to see basically their top talent just have a great match. I mean, Mari and Axe did not hold back. No one held back in that match. I felt that was like
Yeah.
this felt like an Actress Girls main event. But I would like to see maybe again, maybe just before intermission, you do a shorter Actress Time, and it's maybe again like some of the younger talents. Throw them in there.
Like some of the
Let
mid
them have a little
carders,
bout again.
like Sakura and Naru, just let them go for it for a couple
Exactly,
minutes.
exactly.
People would love it.
Yeah, yeah. Just to get a little more in and get them more familiar. Um, and see how it goes. I think it's a growing thing. I'd like to see where it goes. It's more exposure. It's more dates
Yep.
for the performers. So I'm totally for it, and hopefully I can catch the next one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Actors Time, guys. It's a real thing, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's great. And I think that now that a bit of a time has passed since the controversial or whatever initial reaction, I think people are really starting to warm up to it, and it's been good to see. It's been great to see, and the fact that the matches
Yeah,
have actually been like really good has been really cool. Like if you're an Actress fan, and it's the only time you can watch Actress live from overseas, so
it is. Yes,
I
it
got a
is a very
subscription.
rare.
Yeah, I've been using my AJPW subscription a lot more this year. So yeah,
It's
it definitely cool, and I really enjoy that it exists. So the next show was Step 35. That
back
was
to Shikiba.
back to Shinkiba, yeah, and it was a really just pretty good show. It started off strong with a couple of singles matches. You had is it Naho and Marino one on one to start things off, and then
Yeah,
Natsuki and Sakura following it up with another great singles match. And I just want to see these women in more singles matches. And nothing against the tag matches because they're also very good, but to see them kind of just be the focus and not being able to take the breaks and being able to really just kind of work a match of their own been a real joy on this show.
yeah. That opener, I thought like, oh, yeah. Gave him time. Uh, just let them do their own match. I feel like they're like I can't confirm it, but like you never know what's going on. But I feel like there was no notes. They said you two go out, you do the match you think you need to do,
Yep.
and it was fantastic.
Yep. And then we had another Beasts kind of Beast against the Royal, and
Yes, yeah,
so that was another chapter in the story where the Royal were able to win, and more tension in Chichaki and Rico. So that continues. Kanamiku continues the
the win streak
incredible
is
march towards Korakuen.
yeah.
Yeah, so picking up the win with a Mick McKnife on Calico, and really just kind of solidifying that and making her statement that she wants a match with Miku at Korakuen. She is the future of Actress girls, and Miku's duty as the brilliant rose that illuminates the future should give Kanamiku this match.
That's
And
right.
so that's going to be amazing. You have just unbelievable momentum on Kanamiku's side, and you have Miku who is the ace, and it's like you're she's just checking to see how real this momentum is, and if she is the real deal, if she is the future, and she's either in for a rude awakening or an incredible surprise, surprising even herself at Korakuen. So really looking forward to that match, and we'll dive into that further as we get to the actual preview of the match. Main event: Mari Naru and Act and Arena Yamanaka, who those two are just
Yeah,
so good together, and Arena has just been such a joy to watch ever since she's
yeah. I want to bring.
shown up.
I think we've
Because
kind of
we haven't
glossed
talked
over
about her,
that
I
a bit.
think, and we should
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
She is amazing.
It's fantastic. I mean, again, someone who had, I think, kind of limited experience because of how her promotion is run, and um, but has gelled spectacularly well in Actress Girl. It's cool, again, just because she is an outsider technically, but very quickly, I think she's adjusted to the actress style, and I think it helps that because that Best Body is also a promotion that is a mix of wrestling and another concept, which is body competitions. Body competitions, if you don't know, is not quite bodybuilding. It is more like body posing, I guess. It's like a pose off. I know that sounds kind of like Zoolander-ish, but it is a serious thing out here. People work very hard.
Mhm.
Anyone who follows Kaho Kobashi knows it's not something you just show up for. There's training involved,
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
yeah, she
cool.
comes from that background.
I
Yeah,
dove into
and
the website and saw like there's different age classes, comparisons of all different ages and different backgrounds, and they have different classes. It's really an interesting thing, and definitely worth diving into if you're curious and
yeah.
seeing where she came from.
And the best part is something I had followed for a while because it was something that had a strong connection, still has strong connections to DDT in some ways. And I think it's one of those things that Sanshiro Takagi helped to kind of spin up with friends, or helped a friend spin it up basically for the wrestling side. A lot of DDT faces you'll see there. The legend Cherry, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, Arena just fantastic addition. I think it's great that also that allows yet another place for actress girls to show up. Again, check out the Best Body YouTube channel. They have some great actress girls content
They
that
put up
maybe
full
goes under the
shows for
radar a
free.
bit. A lot of full shows for free. And yeah, you'd see more Arena matches. And Arena's been great. She was great in this tag match with Act. Um,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. It's one of those things where I'm like, I know she's not available all the time, and she'll probably always be kind of on the outsider status. But I think she's a fantastic addition to the team, and I'd love to see her more. Obviously depend on availability.
Yeah, she does have a lot of other stuff from her yoga studio to Best Body stuff. So yeah, love to see her whenever she shows up. Is always a really fun and always just great to see her. And then next show is Step 36. Uh, Again, Kanamiku getting another win over
Yeah, oh
Naru
yeah,
first see
And
the.
this was a hell of again another free match. Please go to the YouTube channel, check that one out. But
Fantastic.
what was the runtime on this? Is it less than 10 minutes? They win 8,
Yeah,
9.
it was like eight something, I think.
And it was a sprint, but like again with these, it was like it reminded me of classic seedling style, marvelous style high speed match. Just they came in full gas and did not stop until the finish.
There was that moment
Um,
where uh, Naru had Kanemiku outside the ring, and the look on Naru's face, like, oh, like I'm in for more than I bargained for. Like this is
right.
the momentum, the it's real. Kanemiku's real. Like she's a really has leveled up. It was just the way that it was sold in that moment was incredible, and just you saw like the shift in energy from Naru from like, oh, like gonna come out and do like the fun stuff now, like, okay, this has got to be a little bit more serious, and both of them really benefited from that, and it's that was the first time we see the Mick Le Pont, which is
That's right. Big
which
Lapone.
is incredible. Really, just a German suplex, but the way that she does it, just really cool.
I think a lot. I think some of it is just because of her size,
Yeah.
But there is always a little something. I like to say that she has a little signature on all her moves because of
Yes.
her height and her style. I mean, her senton
This,
always just looks like Jesus take the wheel when she does it. She just throws herself at the other person.
yeah. Just her screaming
Yeah,
on the second rope, arms open before she jumps. I'm like, and then every time
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really when she misses it, it's a just disaster. But when she hits it, it's like, oh yeah, she did it. It's just she knows the little things and the little flashes that she has. Everything, just so good. And it's been so much fun to watch her on this path to now being an actual contender, where she's actually like fighting Miku at Korakuen, and it doesn't feel like, oh, it's going to be like a rookie versus a veteran. It's like, oh, an upset is totally possible because she's just won and she's beaten people that feel like, all right, 2 months ago she wouldn't have even been in the conversation with,
Oh,
and like now
yeah,
she's
yeah.
beaten them. So it's she's really built herself an incredible amount of momentum heading into Korakuen.
Because it's the kind of thing where 2 months ago, definitely you would say, "Oh, she is the liability in a tag team. She's the one who's probably gonna take the pin
Yeah, like her and
and cost her
Sakura.
team." Yeah, that's right.
Or, yeah, teaming. Like, okay, she's if someone's gonna take the pin in that team is gonna, yeah, and it now she's like, okay, she's become the star and maybe the number two in
That's
update,
right.
which is interesting because you have some really talented people in update.
And for those of you who don't know, we're currently actually in the retirement run of Alan.
Yeah,
She announced early February that she had planned to. This just as we want to note, this was all before the unfortunate circumstances around Asahi. She apparently in December had decided she wanted to wrap up her time at Actress Girls to pursue, her acting interests, which have kind of been, going back and forth due to the schedule of Actress Girls and actoring. So I believe she's going till the end of the month, basically. I think the 31st will be her last show, so we're on her retirement road. And yeah, I mean, she's not she is also not going out on a she's not gearing down for this. So far, I think every Alan appearance I've seen, she's trying to give it her all
yeah,
to make sure we all remember the run that was Alan,
yep,
which was fantastic.
yeah. Our last show's gonna be Step 37 on the 29th.
Yep,
And
yep,
yeah, so she has been just absolutely just making the most of her remaining time in Actress, and like if you've watched Alan, you know that she never uh, backs down and she never lays back. She always like part of what made her into the Jidoshu character that she is now was the fact that she stepped up when other people had to miss shows for various reasons, and watching her fill
yes,
in, and she's always been that kind of person that everyone could rely on for anything. And it goes even outside the ring when it's like even moderating the chat for the game chat, the game crew, to being the photographer for the early meetings with Fuka. Really, just someone that they were able to lean on to do a bunch of different things. A super creative person, and someone who's going to go really, really far in the entertainment industry if there's any justice in the
Yeah,
world. So, and this was her only main event. So, really,
that's right.
really,
Yeah.
really, really cool to see teaming with Miku and going against Maru, who's been her kind of guiding force, and Natsumi, who were original members of Maru's theater crew. So there's a connection there, and there's just this history, and it's just so just it was a great match and a great showcase of Alan, and it really does make you realize the wrestler that we are losing in at the end of the month. But it's gonna be a fun ride. We get to say goodbye to her, and she's got Korakuen coming up. So really, really sad to say goodbye, but really glad that she's gonna focus on something she really wants to do and her dreams. And it's gonna, considering how involved she was, like I was saying, photography, chat
Yeah,
moderation, a member of Skyrex, she's doing a whole bunch of different things. It's gonna free her up to really focus on her dream, and I think that that's awesome. And I'm really rooting for her.
right. I will miss just having her around because, like I said, she was a big factor
Yeah,
in in this promotion. I think, like again, not just in the ring where I thought she was doing a fantastic job,
yeah,
but also just as assisting, helping the shows run. Again, a lot of that theater background of just knowing how to keep things moving.
yeah,
But yeah, again, I think all of that was very time consuming, which meant her other like her passions, her other goals in life kind of took a back seat. So 100% understand. She wants to kind of refocus. I hope she still pops around every now and then, maybe helping out at the food truck or
yeah,
something, because I'd love to see her around. And yeah, I like to see what she does. To be honest, I like to see what she does as a performer because she seems like a very creative person.
yeah.
And with the experience she has, I'd be interested how she takes, again, not maybe not the ring stuff, but some of the creative stuff, the character work she's learned here,
Hmm.
and then uses it in her other profession.
Yeah. Also bummed that my one of my favorite running bits of Love Riddle's going to go away, where she just hijacks the solo, the main event, the main
Yeah,
eventers dancing, and just Shaz right in the middle of it. Gonna miss that bit too. So really, just a really special performer who we're gonna miss, and just again cheering for her.
absolutely.
And then I know,
I will cheer for her and hopefully support her at the Korakuen as well.
yeah. And then we're off to Osaka for
For
the
Osaka,
go home show, as you would say.
that's right.
And
Well, yeah, so I'll let you take the lead. Go ahead.
yeah, it was a interesting show. I really like that you opened up with Marino and Maho together. I love that pairing, and I said it on Twitter when I was watching the match. But those two really did and like they had the singles match before, but those two really did make when they debuted made me realize that this new actress was gonna be something special because they I feel like
Right.
they were the first two to debut after the reboot that really made me go, oh, something. This is something's here. They already have characters. They already have energy to them. They're people I can get behind. So just fun seeing them together on a team together, and maybe there's a Teppen membership in the future for Marino. I'd love to see it. We don't know what's going to happen with the Squirrel. This was supposed to be the last Squirrel match, but then they added on the festival group for the Korakuen. We'll get into that. So the Squirrel will be back for
And
Korakuen.
you know,
And
I'll say this. Jidosha. The snakes are about to lose a snake. The
yeah,
squirrel
Squirrel. It's
become a snake.
alphabetically. This starts with the
Uh,
same letter. You
there
might
we
be onto
go.
something. But they were also in the match, and it was fun seeing Kira just kick people, and Bulldozer did some stuff
Yes.
that made me go like, oh wow, like that was impressive because Bulldozer I would say is not the most flashy in ring competitor, but she did some fun stuff
No,
in that one. Like she did a rolling thing, and it was just a fun, very very good at her style. and very good at making you
I wouldn't say
laugh
actor though, but
and enjoy.
she reminds me of current day. My comparison would be like she is someone who knows exactly what she can do, and then she
Hmm.
executes it well. It's like
Yeah,
working within your limitations. I think that's a skill too.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I feel like she very much was from another world before she joined like a pro wrestling organization in this way.
yes,
And
yeah,
you start and like if you watch her from the beginning and you see her really get more comfortable, and you see like when she would hit people with the cane, it would be like it was not very not very convincing. She's always worried about protecting the other people, and but she's also just this another chaotic person, and that's what Jidoshu really is. Just this chaotic
yes,
goofballs who are mischievous, and Maru who's just like we're just gonna cause violence and chaos, and it's fun. So yeah, and like Kira is I I, I am a big Kira On fan, so I'm a little biased, but she
Kieran's fantastic.
yeah
I wish I could hop a plane to Korea to watch her wrestle. Apparently, Momo from Queer which seems like the most random, insane thing
yeah
in Korea of all places. But I would love to see it. But yeah, Kira just looks like she's on a journey of her own, and she's
yeah
just letting us in on
yep
all the fun as she goes.
yep. And the third team in that match is Beast of Act and Ayano. So it was a match that really kind of everyone had their time to shine, and it was fun.
Yes.
The next match was the three-way match with me against Chiaki against Riko Fukunaga, which is
Yeah.
absolutely a fantastic match. There's so many fun little spots with me, and it really was Chiaki versus Riko, and me is there. Just it's just me.
Yes.
Just will like the focus is on Chiaki and Rico, but me adds such a ridiculous dynamic to it, including just getting Kuma-chan out there. And there's one point where Rico and Chiaki are head to head, forehead to forehead, and they're like, just an intense moment, like Rock Austin, kind of like, this is the big moment. And then me just wedges Kuma-chan in between them, and it's just hilarious. And like a lot, but you could just tell like all the frustrations even building even more in Chiaki because she wants Rico out of Beast Rebellion, and this is the
Yes.
match. That's the stakes here in the match, and she eventually gets it done, and it it really does call into question what is the future of Beast Rebellion. And I said this before, but I want the podcast, the website, the thing, the Twitter. A lot of it is I want to keep in like within the universe, within kayfabe, just kind of tell a story that they're
Mm,
trying to tell. But we said it before, like there are some outside forces, kind of I think that may have forced a hand here. Really hoping that we get like the full story here with the in the ring in Actwres. I mean the actual story that they're trying to tell. Not I don't mean the outside of the ring story, but I mean I hope that
yeah.
we get what they're trying to do because there are some outside forces that have affected plans for wrestlers like Act was supposed to come overseas and there was the issue there, and I think that may have had an issue with Beasts, and I think that the story they're telling now is what they would have done if their former leader was overseas and nowhere to be found, and handing it
Yes.
over
Yeah.
to the kind of just carefree leader of Ayano, who's still like being the meanie right now, but she's just kind of not as effective as a leader as Act. And then you have the brain, the darkness brain, the genius, the of Rico, who has called the shots since day one, feeling her grip slip because of injury and time away, and then having to tap out. She really gets the realization, oh shit, I'm losing control, and Chiaki here is always ready to pounce on weakness. It happened with Nene, and it's happening with me, and it was just watching that, and like I feel like maybe it would have had more effect if Act just wasn't there, but it's still having an effect now. I just feel like Act focus is still elsewhere. She doesn't know when she'll be overseas next. She's like, this is just a temporary home until I can go and chase my dream. And that's also
Yeah.
kind of an interesting dynamic to think about. So there's things outside that are happening, and I really hope they get sorted soon. I'd love to see Act over here, and I'd love to see her perform here, and we just wish her the best in that. And yeah, so that's pretty much the big stuff. You had Natsuki was picking up some big ones too, leading into the show, and just she had the match against Misa, which was really good, and then you had Erina and Koki teaming up against Update, and
Yeah.
the first L on Kanamiku's record in a while, but she did not take the pin she did not take the pin. So that's it was another great match with all four of them are fantastic. And Koki, I feel like in the past I've been open about Koki's kind of stagnating growth, but I think that being featured in Actwres Time and just kind of
Yeah, this is something I kind
feel
of want to bring up because
yeah
I feel
she
like she's almost like becoming the star. She's the one that's definitely getting a lot of the highlights
yeah
in Actress
the
Time.
the track she's getting
And
traction again. The traction is back. She's starting to get back in the right direction, and this is a match that really did push her in that right direction.
yeah, there's something I think too, like if actress, because you said it yourself, and I agree, is the idea that Actress Time is like this alternate universe, even by actress standards. Like it doesn't really connect to the step shows or whatever. It's kind of its own thing. And if they were, again, if they get a little more traction, maybe they can move up to maybe 2 matches a card. And if All Japan wants to splash out the cash, I would not mind. There's an Actress Time title, and who would hold that other than the
Mhm.
ace that runs the place, Koki.
Yeah,
Uh,
Koki's got an argument to be the ace of Actress Time. Very, very
yeah,
much
I
so.
think she's
She's
gotten
won
two.
most of them. Yeah, I think majority of them are.
Yeah, yeah.
So
She
she's
did.
been really shining lately, and it's been obvious also that it's carried over to the act shows, the act
Yeah,
wrestling
I mean,
shows.
well, she's since her debut, she's always been, I think, heavily featured
Yep,
performer for obviously because she's Koki,
yep,
um, and I think Actress Time definitely she's being put forward uh, as a big part of that whole project there. So, yeah, I'd love to see her. Again, I agree. Like her run as far as like 2024, a little bit flat, but I think because she didn't really need to be pushed all the way to the top. There wasn't really a hyper need for her to be pushed
yeah,
because she's Koki. You can always like get her going again, no problem.
yeah. It felt like she was taking a backseat role either intentionally or unintentionally because everyone else in the like. I feel like the second half of 2023 was Chika Goto's year, and especially the first part of 2024, uh, watching someone grow within the Royal. So even Natsuki took a backseat role, and now she's starting to break out again. Natsuki's starting to get the wins, the big matches, the big features, big moments, and Koki too. So everyone in the Royal is really starting to show some power, and especially in this main event where it's Mari and Miku against Goto and Sumikawa. And we get a
That's
preview
all
of the
right.
Korakuen. We see Natsumi and Mari cross paths, and Natsumi is making a case to that she is the ace. And I would say if I had to pick the top three in Actress, it would be Mari, Miku, and Natsumi. And
one Hundred
it
percent.
it yeah this is gonna be this is a preview of the Korakuen, and it's a great match, and it really does kind of lay out. It has a bit of a dynamic, and the old booking what standard of the you win the tag match, you lose the big match, or what later on. So if you want to go by that, we have Mari and Miku ended up defeating the Royal, and it does put Sumikawa a bit on the defense heading into Korakuen, but is that's going to be what energizes her to get the win? And it was a good match, I thought. Mari's fantastic. Miku's finally getting like Miku's like, all right, I need to be in this conversation too because she's the one who picked up the win, and she grabbed the microphone right after the match and don't
Hmm.
forget about me. The match is coming up between Mari and Natsumi, but I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm still the ace. Kanamiku might have something to say about that, but it's setting the tone for the future, and it's setting everything up really brilliantly. And I'm really looking forward to Korakuen. So let's roll down the Korakuen card now. So first match, we're seeing Natsuki and Nagisa, kind of Nagisa Shatsuki, common tag team. They've picked up some big wins, especially with Natsuki. It's just going to be they're a fun dynamic, a fun team together, and they're going to be up against Chiaki, who is on a roll and angry, teaming with the debuting Hinata Senya. So not sure if that's going to be her name. She originally was announced as Hinata, and then she said that she's going to take like the Senya, the Hiragana, the Senya. So I want to make sure that's good. But I'm not sure how if that's gonna change. But she's debuting, and so this is a pretty cool match just from that standpoint. We got a debut. Chiaki's kind of outside of the BEASTZ drama bubble for this match as well. Because we don't
We
even
will
know
see.
if
We don't know what's gonna happen in
BEASTZ
that.
exists anymore. Because that's kind of what Chiaki was hinting at. That BEASTZ has kind of run its course. That Ayano's looking happy with me, and there's stuff going on there. So we don't know. So we'll see how this whole circles out. How Chiaki presents herself in the first match, in the opening match, and will Natsuki and Nagisa pick up another win and kind of prove that they are a top team in the company.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, and then next is a 6-person tag, and that is we're gonna get the Jidoshu team of Maru, Kyoka Iwai, and Bulldozer Todoroki, and they'll be up against Naru, Sakura Mizushima, and Riko Fukunaga. Sorry.
Hmm.
So we're gonna see Riko outside of Beast. She's officially out of there. So we're gonna see how she moves on from that. Is she going to kind of fall in with her teammates and the more colorful gear again? Is she going to have new gear, new colorful gear, or is she going to still be wearing the black? Don't know. Will she still be mean? Is she going to embrace some more of the chaotic style of Naru or the baby face nature of Sakura? Or it's going to be an interesting reintroduction of Riko, and she's someone who I feel like has the world in front of her. She has so much potential, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what is next because
Yeah.
she's going to chart her own story starting from Korakuen. It starts at Korakuen.
I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, Korakuen is also time for new gear. Maybe again, like you said, a new look. Um, will that happen? Well, we'll have to see, obviously. But I'm always excited. I've been a big Rico fan since she debuted, even with the unfortunate injury she had. She kept trucking through.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, could she join Update? Maybe this could be a beginning to joining Update. This could be a beginning to join Jidosha. We don't know, right? So
Yeah.
um, I'm excited by both opportunities, and it's just a fun match. Just looking at everyone involved, this is gonna be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a fun one, and there's gonna be something to talk about coming out of it with Rico and everything. And then we have a completely wild third match.
Yes.
Uh,
Now talk about fun. This is maybe the chaos one.
yeah, we got Marino Sehara, Rensan, Catmask Calico, and Yufa as the first team against Kira An, Nene Arahata, Allen, and the Great Asako against Haruka Ishikawa, Nanami Togi, Yui Tenshoku, and Chi Aoba. So that
Yep.
is just looking at these names, it's going to be unpredictable. I can't predict anything that's going to happen in this match. You have anytime Great Asako and Kira An are in the ring together, it's anything can happen. You
Yeah,
add in Saihara,
yeah.
who she said she was going to retire or just move or no longer be the squirrel after Osaka, but she said, "Oh no, it's coming back for this one. It's coming
Yeah,
back for this
she,
one." Rensan being
she
Rensan.
recognized what
Oh
this was
yeah,
about to
yeah.
happen. So yeah,
Calico. We talked about how she's really grown as a serious competitor, but she's still Calico. She's still the cat, and she still absolutely can be chaotic. And Yufa is as colorful as they get. So that team alone, and then you have Yui, who's going to definitely enable the other rookies with Chi and Nanami, and then Haruka, who is actually like really like well rounded and kind of reserved. That's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how she plays off the other three. So really looking forward to that.
hmm
And again, Nene and Alan are just going to be brilliant in kind of enabling the chaos of that team of their team. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. And then again, we have Act and Erna teaming up against
yep.
Misa and Naho, and that was a challenge thrown out. So really looking forward to seeing how that shakes out. Erin is gonna just like be such a big part of everything. I feel like, and I'm really excited to see how this shakes out because she has been such a like she came in and like what is she, how is she gonna fit in? And we talked about it. She's really fit in well. She's really when she's there, she absolutely adds so much to the show. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Misa and Naho are just a brilliant team together too, and they're the two at the top of Teppen, and it's going to be uh, just watching them, drive the faction forward is, and this is a big thing in front of them is fighting Act and Erina. Erina's not exactly part of Beast, but she's definitely someone I would consider Beast adjacent because she teams with them
Yes.
frequently. She has the same look. She even comes out to like dubstep music. So there's definitely a synchronization of vibes there. So I really think that's going to be a you know it's important for Misa and
Not yeah.
Naho to get over
Not
that hill.
not since late 2000 video game trailers has dubstep been so important.
Yep,
Uh, but yeah, Arena reminds us of the importance of dubstep and how
exactly.
serious it can be.
Yep. And then we have the first like I want the first like big marquee match of the show, which would be Miku against Kanamiku. This is
The Battle of the Mikus.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
this is gonna be a big one, I think.
it's gonna be a real big one. I I can't see Miku losing, but I would not have seen Naru losing against Kanamiku.
Right.
Kanamiku's on such a roll. She keeps busting out new moves. She's got this just fire, and you can't help but cheer for her. And she is just going like she is a superstar, a future star, and you know she has said that she is the future of Actwres girls, and it's not in a way of like a heel coming out there and being like, oh, I'm the future, not you. I'm what this company is all about. No, she's seen it
Right.
inside of herself. Like I picked up these wins, I've done this. Like we're the future. We're gonna take over. Like yeah, and I'm gonna be at the forefront of that. So really fun dynamic there. And Miku does not pull punches. She does not do it. She will do everything she can to stop Kanamiku from making that claim a reality. It's really a fun dynamic. Miku is the brilliant rose who illuminates the future, as is her nickname,
Yes.
and her granting this match is illuminating the future, and her entire title reign was that. And this is a continuation of that role of just elevating wrestlers and getting a one-on-one match with Miku is an accomplishment on your own. And now heading into it and going, I don't know, maybe it's possible. Just really shows how much she's grown in the last 2 months, and even more so over the last year. So this is a match
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm really really looking forward to. And then
I agree. The outcome of this could dictate a lot of what's going to be coming up in the next few months. So yeah, definitely one to watch.
yep
Uh, and that leads us to sorry, the next semi main.
semi main me and Ayano against Koki and Gochika. So
Mm-hmm.
this is an interesting thing because we just saw the me in the BEASTZ Rebellion match, and Ayano afterwards, kind of re-allying with me. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And even Chaki has talked about like, oh, they look like they're happy together. So what's even the need of beasts in the future? So that there's going to be a little bit of tension there, maybe with that. But it's really we'll probably see Face Ayano again. We'll probably see the bright gear. I'm really looking forward to seeing that if that happens
Yeah.
again.
A
And
team I always support, and a team I'm not sure we've seen this team since the Kitazawa Town Hall show from last year, which was one of my favorite shows. So,
yeah, I think that was the last time we saw the bright colored Ayano, which is
yep,
very cool. And just looking forward to seeing that again. And again, the tall team of the Royal, Koki and Chika, and they got
that's
something to
right.
prove too. I think everyone in this match has something to prove, and that's these last four matches really are a proving ground of Actwres. And it's you do have the veteran team of me and Ayano, and they are the veterans. They are the old guard. They are the old system. And you have Chica, who, again, at times like seemed like she would not take to wrestling, who and over the last year has become incredible to watch. And Koki, who again
This
is
is
on a bounce back from just kind of she's had the big losses. She's had some just plateau. She's just plateaued for a bit, and she's on the way back up. The whole Royal is on just an upward trajectory, and they got to prove it against the veterans that it's real. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
also we need to discuss over under on Kuma-san surviving this one.
Uh,
I don't know if he makes it out. I
he's been
think
surviving a lot lately. He's been making
yeah,
it through
but
matches. I think this might be one where he doesn't because you
yeah,
got
because when you hit two monoliths like Chica and Koki, it's the impact. It's too much,
yeah, and
unfortunately.
I think maybe you'll see Chica with another giant swing on Kuma-chan.
Yep.
That's a
Oh,
potential.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
I I would say it's unlikely he makes it a minute into the into his introduction to the match. So
Okay, fair enough.
if you've been watching the scorecard, I got updated with the last two. He's
Hmm.
survived the last two, but it's been he's been surviving like 8, 9, 10 minutes I think on average from the
Right.
introduction because he's been mostly tag matches. So should be that's going to be a stat to watch out for. And then we have our main event, and this is where the AWBoy'Z go to war.
Yep.
So
I need to stand by the ninja. I've been there since Reina days. I was there uh, through Colors. I am here now, and I've already taken my stance by reserving a ticket through her. I'm going for Mari in the
uh,
main event.
Mari is absolutely one of my favorite wrestlers and probably my second favorite in Actress. If I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I don't want to be biased, but I'm gonna be biased here.
Uh,
So these are my two favorite in Actress. Mari has been just such an incredible person to watch grow with Actress from just the appearances early on to becoming a full time roster member. And we went through all this, to becoming
yeah.
the lead force of the new system. Natsumi, it's been similar, where you go back and you watch her stardom days, and you watch her growth there, and she becomes a champion there, and then due to injury and her and just her body, she has to step back and step away, and it it's been a long time in the making for her to get back to the championship form from her teaming with Kyrie and winning the belts there, and she never lost the belt. She retired as a champion, and to come back and watch her have to start from scratch pretty much in 2021 and slowly come back and then shed the gear, the rookie-ish gear that she had, the
Yeah.
holdover from Stardom, and now she's wearing the black and she's got the wings, and watching her
It was
grow.
such a shift. It was such a
Yeah,
shift. Like
and
when she first joined, yeah, I was like, oh, well, she's paying tribute to how she started, and I always thought maybe that's how she was going to continue early
yeah,
on.
and it would have made
And then
sense.
it would have made sense, but I think she made a very conscious decision. It's like I need to make a break from
Yeah,
that, and yeah, yeah, I'll say that yeah, her stardom run was fantastic. Like for a rookie stardom run,
yeah.
but I would honestly say this actress girl run is probably superior in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
I would
I think
say
it's
for
been
sure.
longer.
I feel like her Stardom run was good, and watching her just grow as a competitor there, and just seeing her go from
Yeah,
like the karate girl into an actual like decently well-rounded
yeah.
wrestler.
And I think people forget the stardom run was relatively short, cut
Yeah,
short by that injury.
yeah,
So
and I feel like one thing I keep saying about her run there was that it is overshadowed by her being teamed with Kyrie.
of course, yes. I mean, people
She
will look back on that history. You see Kyrie,
I
obviously.
say she was in danger of just becoming a footnote in wrestling history as Kyrie's first, the first partner Kyrie had when she won a championship. And just
Mm,
like, oh, that's
hmm.
Natsumi Sumikawa, and then that's all anyone ever knows about her. This run here in Actress has really just kind of changed that, where she actually is now controlling her legacy as a wrestler and as a performer in the ring, both as like someone who is a guiding force in the Royal, and also just an elite talent in a company that is now undeniably known for producing elite talent. So
Yes.
yeah, so Natsumi is probably my favorite wrestler on the planet right now, and it it hurts to root against Mari because I wanted Mari to win the belt so hard, and I still think that I want her to reign for a very long time. But in this
Yes.
match
But
on the 24th,
I
I
can't
will
deny it.
be
Like
cheering for Natsumi.
I'm on a knife's edge because it can go either way. Like
Yeah, and
maybe
like all that aside, let's talk about what this match is going to be. It's going to be good. It is going to be really good.
yes.
I don't think you have two
Yeah.
people who match up better in actress than these two.
Yeah. They have great chemistry. Um, I think training wise they kind of come generationally at least from a very similar training set.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that there's a good mix there. Um, and again, yeah, they're both talents who were trained from the outside. So that's what I like. It's like this you're gonna see a clash of styles and experiences that have meshed with the actress girl style.
yeah. And now we're 2 years into the new system,
Yeah.
and you're really starting to see it evolve into what they were doing, and also them evolve into what actresses do. So it's really kind of a mutually just a mutual growth between those two and the promotion. And there's no actress in his current form without these two, and
Yeah.
there's no Sumikawa or Mari how they are right now without the actress style. So it really is, you are seeing two people who are just everything that this promotion is. And Miku, Miku too. That's part of Miku's whole thing like lately has been don't forget about me. But these two
Yeah.
match, I think, Miku was such a dominant performer, a dominant wrestler, and she asserts the dominance in the ring. Both Mari and Natsumi are crafty. They're both
Yes.
they're both well versed at the ground game. They both have, great kicking ability. They're both, they both just have really cool stuff. Mari's maybe a bit stronger and has more power moves, but Natsumi can fly. So
Yes.
you have so many things happening, and there's so much of a cool dynamic between the two that if Mari's run and reign were longer, a little bit longer, like if she held the belt for 6, 7 months, I would say, and defended it more than just once, it would be a toss up for me. It's just a
Mm.
complete toss up. I think that I don't want to look at the booking. I want to look at from a kayfabe standpoint. Either can win this.
Yes, no, I think we're definitely skill wise, story wise, we're at a 50-50.
Yeah.
Because has been a reliable winner. She generally wins most of her matches.
Yep.
Um, and but Mari's been on a streak in my opinion since she won the championship.
Mm-hmm. And she's
Um,
been like undeniable. Like her matches have been really good, and she has even when like she gets surprised by an opponent, she will find a way to overcome it.
yes,
And I'm
I agree.
an Actwres Time she did the frog splash, and who knows if that's
Yeah.
that,
Oh
that's an
yeah.
alternate universe,
Uh,
but you
Again,
could see her take to the ropes, take to the
it
sky.
is the flying squirrel. Let's not a frog. The
Okay,
flying squirrel. This is a
but I just
make sure we pay respect to our master.
it's true, that's true. But she also loves frogs, so
She does love frogs
so
too, but uh,
so it's I really yeah, it could go either way, and I really am looking
yeah,
forward to this match like more than anything. And it's like I wish I could have made it there for that one. Would have loved that. Last year was amazing, and like this year would have been cool to like see this one. And
yeah,
but I also know that I would be in the front row of a fucking mess, whoever won, because I
yes,
both of these women mean so much to me as a fan, especially of this reboot and watching it and watching Natsumi, go from all right, career's over, we'll never see her really again except popping up in a couple of things here and there just to go, oh, like that's Shozuki, haha, and to now like being the showcase and being in the main event and fighting for a title, a singles title,
yes,
when
yeah,
10 years ago, never, 9 years ago, no, never even would have
no,
considered it happening. So I'm really excited for it, and there's just so many cool things going into Korakuen. This is maybe the coolest thing that Actwres could have possibly like ever done is this match right here. So with the
yes,
current
yeah.
current crew that they have. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Uh, insert Paul Rudd Hot Ones clip. Look at us. Just look at who thought we'd be here. Look at
Exactly, exactly. It's an unlikely story,
yep.
an unlikely match, and if you're only watching Actress for the reboot or just this year or just from 2023 on, you'll miss a lot of the context of what makes this match so special. And I hope that just going through a little bit of it here and then maybe going back and if you listen to the Mari podcast and all that, you'll really get the whole weight behind this match and why it's so unlikely and important and big. These two are just the top of the top in Actress, and I feel like both of them have crossed paths with Miku, and
Yes.
Natsumi struggled with Miku, but Mari defeated Miku to claim the belt. So, that's something in there also, and other promotions that will book like okay, someone always will beat them, and they always have the other person's number, and you see a lot like TJPW, I think. So, I wonder if maybe that'll be something that we got to look at here too, in the as more of the story is written. Really, just so much is going to happen here, going into it, coming
Yes.
out of it, and I this ride, the match itself is going to be a great ride. So definitely buckle up and tune in. Get your net subscription, or it'll probably end up
Get your
free on
net
YouTube
subscription
within
up.
like 2 days. If the
Yeah, they,
late,
they tend to throw the title match up. I could actually see them throwing either the tag match, the semi, or depending how insane it gets, they could throw this 12-person
yeah,
insanity match online because that would be a fun one.
yeah,
Great Asako especially. Let's get the Great Asako train rolling again, just because I want to see the cease and desist come in from Noah. Uh, just the insanity of that. Um, but yes, let's look forward to this Korakuen show. I'm hyped. I got my ticket. I'll be tweeting live. Follow me on
yeah.
Chris 2K Lee. Is it Chris 2K Lee? It's Chris 2K Lee. Yes, there we go.
Yes,
On
Chris
Twitter.
Tukeli on Twitter.
Twitter, sometimes called X, but not by me.
No.
So Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah. Just type in Twitter. It still works. You can still just type
Yeah.
in Twitter and get Twitter. Yeah. So take that. Take that, car man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. And then what else is going? And then I guess there's the Alan retirement show, which
Yep.
I wish I could go to. I believe I'm unfortunately occupied with having to work like an adult on that time. So I'll miss that, but I'll make sure to give Alan my regards at Korakuen and hopefully get one more portrait with her before she departs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. It was good to definitely get my podcast feedback. Obviously, last month was a bit difficult for a lot of reasons.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it was good. It was good to shake it out, and hopefully, post Korakuen, we can do another of these.
Definitely. We got a big April coming up. We got what?
Yep. There's a double Shinkiba show in April. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got another Osaka trip, and it should be interesting to see how everything shakes up after the Korakuen. And I really am so stoked for that main event. If you can't tell, like these are two so special talents in the wrestling world.
Yes.
We're so lucky that Sumikawa's back and doing this, and we're so lucky that she's able to cross paths with someone like Mari. So yeah. Chris, you got anything else you want to promote while we're still here?
No. I mean, I like I said, I gotta thank you for putting this together as always, bro. Hopefully, now that I've got my headset dusted, maybe I'm gonna try to throw up an episode of the A4 again, which is my own little pod where I just ramble about shows that I've seen that are not Actwres related generally, and kind of anecdotes. I think the one I really want to cover is the very unique Joshi show I went to at Burlesque Yavai, which is a Japanese burlesque show. But they hosted some pro wrestling, which involved such talents as Saki, Taie, Unagi Sayaka, hot off of her Cello Korakuen show, into a I don't think it was even 100-seat little burlesque shop in Roppongi, which is like the first time I've been back to Roppongi in like 4 years.
Saw the pictures. That show looked incredible. Looked so much fun.
Yeah, and again, we're allowed to take video. So honestly, what I would like to maybe do is assemble that into one video, so you could all watch along, and I can comment on it. So we'll see about that. I'm gonna try to put that together before the end of the month, and hopefully you and I can do another of these. Hopefully early next month or sometime, catching up again on what's going on with the team.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's it.
And
that's
we want to focus on the unit shows. Even though we're going to be past the unit shows, I think that it was such a special period of time in Actwres Girls.
Yes.
Something we could go back to at some point. Definitely want to do in more detail than what we did here, just the run through. We'll maybe just do a whole watch through together, and it's just really can't stress how much I love those shows too. So
yeah, well, it was such a great start to the year. Just fantastic stuff there.
Yep. And for me, I'm gonna just say I have restarted the AWG English News Twitter. So that's
that is correct.
AWG Nets _E. So you can follow that for any updates on Actwres Girls, anything that's going on, from match announcements, game club, book club, anything that's going on. I'm going to try to make sure to be on top of it, new t-shirts and stuff. Sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm doing stuff, but always trying to keep things up to date on there and keep everyone informed about what's going on so that they know what's going on and they can watch it. And also, I have added a whole bunch of stuff to the website, from alumni profiles dating all the way back to the first shows. Also looking to add some more stuff in, like features and other things. Like I want to do previews of shows. So I want people to listen to this, but I also want to give someone like a cheat sheet. So I'm going to write up something and post it up there too. And just kind of add more reasons for people to visit beyond just to get a profile. Because reading the profile of a performer is great. You get to learn the background. I try to add in, videos of what they were in, but then to go in and have the context of what makes a match special, and then you go in and read the profiles, it adds so much more to it. So really looking forward
Yes.
to getting that all settled together.
And I'll say this about that alumni section. I would recommend that if you're a fan of Stardom, please go through that alumni section so you can see your future roster post Rossi era.
Yeah,
uh,
no, it's their current roster. A lot of people
yeah,
have come through yeah, come through Stardom. So really, yeah, I put a lot of work into it, and I added so much like context. I've watched movies that people have been in. I've watched stage shows that people have been in to just kind of get a get
yeah.
a read on what they're
I
all about,
I
way beyond just the
100%. I
ring.
appreciate your hard work on that website, by the way. Just
Yeah,
putting that all
thank you.
together.
Yeah, there's gonna be an episode about those early AGZ shows,
Yes.
and I don't really have any. Um, I don't have a plan for it. I recorded something, but I don't feel confident in it because of just what happened around then, and also just the recording didn't come out great. So I wanted to just revisit it at a later date and kind of go through it again. So that's something else I want to do because those were such fun shows that I want people to be able to experience even if they can't get their hands on it because it's not on Nets or YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things like that I really want to that's part of the whole site is I want people to get the whole story without having to watch every single bit of content that's out there.
I agree.
Kind
I
of
think
so yeah,
it's somewhat of a lost period, but I do think it's an important period in the history of that promotion. And really, again, I think
yeah,
the current scene, Jewish pro scene, I think that's an important time also. So
yeah.
having that
You
stuff
have the
available.
debuts on just the first show with Natsupoi, Ano, uh, Kakuda,
Yep.
yeah. So Maiko Ozaki,
Yeah.
so Tai Honma. So it's big. It's a
I,
big
I
show.
would also like
So
to do, if possible, maybe a Now Kakuta tribute episode of some sort, maybe, or a section next time before
yeah,
she moves on to the next phase in her life.
definitely,
Yeah, leaving both wrestling and
definitely.
acting. So, oh boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
it's a
she's a wonderful performer, and
fantastic
those early
performer.
shows, watching her go from those really early stuff of like just very rough, but you could
Yes.
start to see the now Kakuta you see today, and becoming like such a important part of what TJPW does.
Yeah.
Really cool, and I'm gonna miss her too, and really you know you could see like you go through that alumni page on the website at awg.wrestlinggood.com.
There you go.
You'll see a lot of just heartfelt
Hit the website,
ramblings about
bookmark it.
people whose art I really enjoy.
Yes.
So yeah, and then yeah, that's all for me. That's all I got
That's
to
it. Yeah.
promote.
And like I said, keep your eyes on the A4 podcast. Just type that in to the Twitters as well, and I'll try to get something up maybe in the next week or so. Because yeah, I like to, again, I want to cover kind of like what AGZ was. I want to cover the weird, maybe not so watched material, and hopefully get some eyes on some performers that I mean may not be on your radar at the moment. So we'll see about that. Hopefully in the next week.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks,
thanks
man.
for coming on.
Always a
And I
pleasure.
know we usually end these with the praise Mari,
Yes.
but I want to make a special one. And instead of praise Mari, today it's going to be Asahi Forever.
Asahi forever,
So
guys.
thank you all for listening, and Asahi Forever.
Asahi forever.